The Ducati Scrambler 1100. We have the review. Mahindra's TUV300 Plus review also on the show. And staying with Mahindra, it's taking Fiat to court in the US. We'll tell you why. It's CNB time here on NDTV. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Patankar. We'll begin straight away with a look at that new Ducati. The 1100 Scrambler gives you more power, a little more attitude, and certainly a little more choice as well. Pritam Bora was lucky enough to get his hands on the bike.
It's bigger, longer, taller, and more powerful than ever. And it's said to be a whole lot better than the regular Ducati Scrambler we've known for the last 3 years or so.
When Ducati introduced the new Scrambler in 2015, it broke new ground in Ducati. The Scrambler is not just a motorcycle, it became a completely new brand for Ducati. And over a few years, Ducati has sold nearly 50,000 of those Scramblers till date. But now, Ducati says it's time for a bigger and better Scrambler. Something with more performance, something which riders require from a Scrambler with more punch, more performance and more road presence.
Enter the new Scrambler 1100. And it certainly looks like the big brother to the smaller 800cc Scrambler icon. It's beefier, more muscular and definitely looks more than just a regular Scrambler with a bigger engine. There are quite a few anodized aluminium bits as well, which underline the level of quality, fit and finish.
The biggest change of course on a new Scrambler 1100 is the engine. It's a bigger 1079cc L twin engine which puts out about 85 bhp of power at 7500 rpm and 88 Nm of torque at 4750 rpm. Overall the bike is bigger. There are other changes. The seat is taller, the fuel tank is bigger. It's got a lot of aluminium bits like this bar ends here. It's got a newly designed headlight with a nice aluminium bezel here, a newly designed instrument panel, and of course there's a lot of technology involved in here as well. It now gets a choice of 3 riding modes, and it's got a 4-level traction control which can be switched off, and it's got an inertial measurement unit which has sensors which calculate lean angles and triggers the cornering ABS. While that IMU also does is triggers the auto-cancelling turn indicators as well.
It's available in 3 variants. There's the base Scrambler 1100 at just under 11 lakh rupees, a Scrambler 1100 Special at over 11 lakh, and the most expensive Scrambler 1100 Sport. While the Scrambler Sport gets fully adjustable top-spec Öhlins suspension, the Scrambler Special gets additional aluminium bits and wire spoke wheels. Whatever the variant, the new Scrambler 1100 promises a level of performance and technology never before seen on any Ducati Scrambler. On the move, it's immediately apparent that this Scrambler packs more performance and feels more eager to go. In essence, the 1100 has made the Ducati Scrambler offer a whole new level of easy rideability and a lot of rider aids to keep you safe on the road.
So what the new Scrambler 1100 offers is slightly more performance and a lot of technology. For starters, it gets 3 riding modes: active with full 86 bhp of power and an aggressive throttle response. Journey, again full 86 bhp of power but a slightly toned down throttle response. And then there's City with power toned down to 75 bhp and throttle response toned down even further.
Throttle response isn't snatchy as the first generation Scrambler 800. And even though it's heavier by nearly 15 kilograms, the Scrambler 1100 retains its fun-to-ride personality.
What I like about the Scrambler 1100 is the way it sounds. Those dual exhausts burst and babbles and crackles like nobody's business. Well, best part is the handling. The chassis is taut. You can dip it into corners. It's very stable, very nice, but the ride is slightly on the harsher side. So if you're going over broken terrain, broken tarmac, that harsh ride quality can get to you somewhat.
Our first ride of the Scrambler 1100 was brief, so we didn't get to tinker with the fully adjustable suspension settings. But once we swapped the bikes and took the Scrambler Sport for a spin, the difference is immediately noticeable.
Well, the one that I'm riding right now is a powder line variant of the new Scrambler 1100, Scrambler 1100 Sport. Well, it's the most expensive version at 11,40,000 ex-showroom. But what this one has is top spec all-in suspension, and the difference is immediately stark. This one handles much better than the base Scrambler 1100 or even the Scrambler 1100 Special. It's tauter, firmer, and feels more stable when you throw it around corners. That's the difference a suspension makes to a bike. So if you have the budget, I suggest look at this one with all-in suspension.
According to Ducati, the Scrambler 1100 is targeted at those riders who are fans of the Scrambler brand, and even existing Scrambler owners who seek that slight edge in performance and technology while staying within the Scrambler family. It's certainly an entertaining motorcycle to ride, and it has the looks, the presence and the personality if you're the scrambling kind.
Now the question is, should you buy the new Scrambler 1100? Well, yes, if you like the Scrambler genre of motorcycles, definitely yes, you'd like the way it performs. It's quite easy to handle. Even if you're a new rider, you'd quite like the way it handles. The power is not intimidating enough. There's not too much performance. On the flip side, what you'd expect from a bigger Scrambler, that special bit, that special character, the special spark, that makes a motorcycle really special. That is somewhat missing in the Scrambler 1100. And although it's called a Scrambler, this is not a true blue off-road motorcycle. Although it looks like an off-road motorcycle, it's not. So if you're the kind who wants to go off-road, your best bet within the Scrambler family is still the Desert Sled.
It's hard to tell how the Scrambler 1100 will do commercially in India. The only speed breaker here is the price, and that will be the deciding factor if the bigger Scrambler can create a substantial fan following in India. But then, if you're a Scrambler fan and you're willing to spend a little extra for more technology and safety, then this one certainly deserves a look.
That's the latest from Ducati. Now we move on to the big story coming out of the US. Mahindra taking FCA or Fiat Chrysler automobiles to court. Now there is a backstory here, we'll explain that to you as well, and also the reason for this litigation.
In March 2018, Mahindra launched an off-road only SUV in the United States called the Roxor. Based on the Thar, the Roxor can't be used on road, and unlike normal passenger vehicles, is only sold through dealers that specialize in farm equipment, power sport and off-road vehicles. Given the classic Jeep-like proportions and the $15,000 sticker price, the Roxor did woo quite a few people. The real difference between the Roxor and the Thar though is that front grille. While in India, Mahindra does have the rights to use the 7-slat grille, in the United States, the design is patented by Jeep, and so to avoid legal tussles, Mahindra used a 4.5-slat grille instead. That said, on August 1st, 2018, FCA or Fiat Chrysler Automobiles approached the International Trade Commission and filed a complaint against Mahindra, citing that the Roxor was in violation of their patents and looked too much like a Jeep, which could result in confusion for buyers and eventually a dilution of the Jeep brand itself. And now, in response to that complaint, Mahindra North America or MANA has decided to take FCA to court for alleged breach of contract. The lawsuit uses a 2009 contract between the two as basis. When Mahindra had attempted to sell the Scorpio in the United States, Jeep had then complained similarly that the grille on the Scorpio was too similar to its corporate design of 7 slats. That said contract was drawn up then, which stated that Mahindra could use one with a 4.5 slat grille design instead, and if that was done, Jeep would not initiate any legal action in the future over any Mahindra vehicle. But it seems that's exactly what FCA has done in the case of the Roxor. In an official statement put out by a Mahindra spokesperson, the automaker says, "We are asking the court to block Fiat from participating in the ITC claim and injunction because of the fact that they agreed in 2009 to never bring such claims if we use a grille that they approved. The Roxor uses that grille." FCA has also alleged that the grille in particular was being imported into the United States and that the cars were only being assembled in Detroit instead of being manufactured there. In a response to that statement too, Mahindra North America has responded saying that not only is the grille made in Detroit by a third-party vendor, but the Roxor itself and the grille that goes on it were also designed in Michigan too. While the matter is now sub judice, we here at Car and Bike will be keeping a very close eye on it and will bring you all the latest news on it both here and on our website.